Wisconsin's potholes are back in the spotlight as Governor Tony Evers continues his annual pothole patrol tour this week. But in Appleton, drivers say some rough roads are still making daily commutes very frustrating and very costly. Samantha Cavalli spoke with drivers about the places they say need attention.
If you feel like you've been dodging more potholes lately, you're definitely not imagining it. Across Wisconsin, thousands of potholes have been popping up across its streets and highways, and drivers we spoke to in the Fox Cities say you can definitely feel them. From potholes to sinkholes, Wisconsin's road conditions are the talk of the town every summer.
And it's terrible for your car, which is probably why I'm here filling my tires again, like once a week.
Corey Arizola of Appleton says her car is feeling the impact of the road conditions. She says in her neighborhood on Story Street, road problems have gone beyond just potholes. Arizola says the sinkhole was patched more than once, but the problem kept coming back. Not only is it a problem for drivers, but also a concern for people walking in the area. Arizola wants to see that funding improve the roads they use every day. Does it frustrate you?
I'm very frustrated with it, actually, especially, the taxes should be taking care of that, right? Like we pay a wheel tax, and I feel like that's important. They need to be fixed.
Drivers who spot these potholes can report them to the Wisconsin DOT or their local public works department. In Appleton, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.